How's it going, guys? Steven from Break Free Homestead. Today, we are gonna put hardware on our cabinets because our wives are complaining that the doors are too hard to open on these new cabinets. So, they task you with this giant box of hardware that you need to put on. Let's get to it. All right, so you could buy a fancy jig from Lowe's or whatever, but they make the same ones on Amazon for way less money. Okay, I'll drop a link down below of the one we bought. There are some longer ones for longer cabinets, and we didn't do that, which we should have. So you should do that if you have long cabinets. All right, so we have this jig. Put it all together. Basically, we have here is the two spots. If you're having, two handles or a handle with 2 points to drill through, you're gonna save your butt doing this. It might be a little bit easier to do it without a jig if you have a single knob, but who wants that in their nice kitchen? Not doing that. So we jig this up, or we put this into place. We want our handles or our holes to go through here, and then there's one in the middle for no reason. So what we're gonna do is tape that. If we drill through this third hole on accident, the miss is not gonna be very happy. So let's cover it. All right, guys, even if you were doing a small amount of cabinets, this cheap jig is gonna save you. If you make one mistake on that door, you're way over the cost of this jig. So I definitely recommend using this jig. If this helped you guys out, make sure you drop down below, hit that like and subscribe button. Really helps the channel out. Make sure you ring that bell notifications, that way you know when we post new content. Thank you, guys. If you do use our link down below for the jig, we do get a small commission, but it doesn't cost you any extra. All right, so we're gonna go over how we set this up real fast. Basically, we measured from the side here, the side rail we'll call it, to here, and it was a little over 2 1/4, so we went about 1 1/8 inches to get it in the center. All right, in the bottom of the jig, we put that up, and then we lined up the bottom with this bottom rail, and then the top is obviously your distance from the first screw to the second screw. We also confirmed that by just sticking the screws through, making sure there wasn't too much pressure, and it wasn't off by a little bit. So that is in place there, and obviously this is going to be just flipped for the other side. So it's nice and easy. Everything's in place. We'll have to go over the drawers after that, but let's get our vertical wall done real fast. Use whatever bit size your hardware calls for. Ours is 3/16. So let's get this. Bam. Our hole's perfectly there. I'd say that looks pretty darn good right there. She's nodding her head in acceptance. So this is good. We're gonna keep doing this on all these doors, and then it's gonna be done because the kids are complaining, the wife's complaining, can't open the doors, drawers. Huge issues, okay? Let's get to it. All right, guys, that was super quick. Only a couple minutes to drill this whole pantry system over here. Just make sure you ensure that these are super tight. This top piece just moved after one of the last ones, so I went through and made sure these are all tight again. There's a lot of vibration when you're drilling in through there, so just double check even when you're going through that everything's the same measurement. And when we positioned these, we just used it at numbers that you can refer back to, not like a 16th back. So we're at 2 here and then 15 over here, and that's centimeters, just based off going up from the bottom. So keep it simple. Don't make it harder on yourself. So let's put this hardware on, get to the other cabinets. Hey, if this content helps you out at all, please drop down below, hit that like and subscribe button. It really helps our channel out as we grow, and it also shows this video to a lot more people who need the same thing as you. All right, guys, so your horizontal cabinets or drawers are gonna be a little bit different. This works on this because it's not too wide. What we went ahead and did was just measured. She wants these things centered here, just a single on these smaller drawers. So we centered it vertically, and then horizontally we just draw a line with a pencil, and that'll come right off. And then remove our tape, and then basically get your height and your center on here. You can see through this hole, and then line it up. Lock your top in, lock your side in, and then you're gonna get your spacing here, or your total spacing for your handle, and then you're gonna split that on each side of your center here. We went ahead, and since we moved everything, we confirmed that the handle is in fact at the right spot again, and then we double checked and measured side to side on each of our guides here. So that's perfectly measured. This is gonna work for these 3 drawers, and then you get to redo the whole thing again for the height only on this bottom. The center will obviously be the same, but in your kitchen, you have a lot of different sizes, so you get to do this over and over and over again. All right, we're installing all these handles now, and obviously there's a thicker area because you have this face attached to a drawer. So you're gonna need your longer screws that come with your set. And these ones just break apart, so if they're too long, that you can just knock it off a little bit shorter. We're actually super lucky because this whole thing screws in into the handle. I think it takes probably up all the room that it has in there, but we don't have to nip these down, which is gonna save us a little bit of time. To the next plate. That's worse. I'm having to retighten the darn cabinet, you know? Bam! Look at that! On to the next cabinet. All right, so this one, it's gonna be a real pain in your ass, and they want 2 handles, right? So now you're like, what? Okay, so we got our height halfway up on this center piece here, and we basically messed around with our spacing, and we ended up, these are all rough marks on pencils, so this is not the right height. It's obviously going to be right where the holes are, but we came up with that as the spacing. So basically 4 inches out from the exterior. So in this, coming up with this 4-inch out from each side, in 2 handles in this is going to save our butt because we don't have the extension to go the distance for one single centered handle. So it's kind of like a blessing in disguise, but we're not going to tell anybody that, okay? Make it seem like it was a pain, give more credit for it, and the cabinets are done, whatever, okay? So that's there, centered, flip it, do the same thing. That way, if we're doing 4 inches out on each cabinet, even the other lengths, all we have to do is change our height to make sure everything is centered. So let's get to it. And these are kind of weird, like, because if it's sitting out, you don't want to like push on there and change the angle. So what we're gonna do is just, we're gonna hold it right there, and you're not really gonna be applying too much pressure to the jig itself. Just get it through there and get the spot where you're gonna drill. And if you drill through your wife's favorite cookie pan, I think you're gonna get extra credit. So I think we're not getting extra credit right now, but good luck.